Bronze in. Okay. We're going to try with a little bit of a different setup today, but here comes our overhead camera. We're going to continue to work on our uh, room in perspective assignment. So this is where we kind of left off. We got a few basic elements. We got our back wall set up. Right, we got a TV stand kind of set up, and we kind of know like where things are at as far as the walls and the windows are concerned. But here, let's go ahead and kind of talk about what we're supposed to be doing. So if you missed the demo yesterday, you can go ahead, on Thursday, you can go ahead and check out this drawing a simple room in 1 point perspective. But this is our original image that we're working off of, right? So you can see some of our similarities. We got our back wall that we're looking at. We got our TV stand working out. We kind of got the bone set up, and now we just want to kind of add details and try to make it as detailed and look like make a copy, right? So you're trying to make this look the same as make your drawing look the same as this room. So the things I want to tackle today are going to be the TV over here on the left-hand side. You got the rug down here at the bottom. And you also have the picture frame up here at the right. And those are all kind of similar objects. You draw them similar ways using orthogonal lines and either vertical or horizontal lines. So we're going to tackle that today. And we'll kind of move on from there. And then tomorrow we'll do some of the furniture. So here we go. We're going to get started. Feel free to follow along with me. If you'd rather wait till I'm done and then kind of reproduce what I do, that's fine. But I kind of recommend that you kind of work with me on this and try to follow along as best you can. All right, like I said before, the first thing we're going to do is kind of check out this TV over here on the left side. And we're going to do it slightly differently than we have in the past. Usually we start with the front of an object or the side of an object that is closest to us. Now we're going to start with the side of the object that is furthest away from us and kind of see how that affects our drawing. But first, we're going to kind of notice where our TV is in this image. As you can see with our labeling, this is our vanishing point, which means our horizon line goes straight through that. It's a perfectly horizontal line that goes straight through our vanishing point. We know that. And it looks like our TV is kind of like right on that line. So it's right on that horizon line. So we're going to try to add our TV as close to the horizon line as we can. Fully understanding that it might look a little bit different, and that's fine. Oh yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and draw, well here, might as well have the diagram out. We're going to draw the TV. The other thing that I see is that the edge of the TV almost perfectly lines up with the edge of the room. So right here is where our orange line is. So that's about where we're going to put the TV, and we're going to see how it works. So we're going to start with a vertical line, which is going to be furthest away from us. We're going to put it very, very close to our back wall line. So we're going to try to make it as close to the horizon line as we can. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but we're going to try to make it as close as possible. So this is the back edge of the TV. From there, we're going to take the top and bottom of that line and extend them back towards us, the viewer, using an orthogonal line. So we're going to start kind of like a 2-point perspective. We're going to start at the line we just drew and extend it almost to the edge of the paper, but not quite. And we're going to do the same thing with the bottom. Extend that line. I probably went a little too far. Maybe I'll kind of trim off some of this over here. But there we go. That's the beginning. We got orthogonal line on top, orthogonal on the bottom, and then a vertical line in the back. If we have a vertical line in the back, it means we got a vertical line in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that. And I'm actually going to give myself a little bit of room and draw my line about here, because we're going to try to put a flat side on this TV. All right, we're going to erase this extra line. We don't need it. Just kind of decided I didn't want it. All right, and then I know this isn't exactly what the TV looks like, but we're going to do this just for just kind of consistency. We're going to draw two horizontal lines at the top of this and try to kind of establish where our TV begins. So we're going to do an orthogonal line almost to the edge of the paper, but not quite. We're going to do the same thing down here. Again, not quite to the edge of the paper. Then I'm going to turn my, well, I'll just do it backhand. Then we're going to do one final vertical line to create kind of the side of the TV that's facing the wall. It's going to give us like a little box. It's a little bit more boxy than the actual TV is, but it kind of goes along with what we've kind of been learning about perspective. And that's the bones of the TV. What I'm going to do now is add in another border in here to make it, to identify where the screen is. So right now it just kind of looks like a glass case. I'm going to try to put a little border on here to make it look like an actual TV. We'll see if it works. Who knows? So again, orthogonal line, vertical, orthogonal at the bottom, and then we finish up with a vertical line right over here. Remember, we're going to use the side of the paper to make sure that that looks as straight up and down as we can. All right, and there we go. So that kind of completes our TV. We got a few more details in there showing like where the plastic outline is, and we also show kind of where our screen would be. You want to do the old like get a couple of, I don't know. You don't have to do that. I feel like I always used to do those with glasses. I'm not sure. All right, and that's about good for our TV. Maybe in a perfect world, our TV would be sticking out a little bit. Maybe I'll examine that for next time and then put a little wall mount on there. I just can't keep up with the technology. All right, so that's about it for our TV. Next, we're going to do this rug down here at the bottom. And then we also have to do this picture frame over here. So I'm going to run through those. You'll see the kind of the way that you draw them is very similar to what I just did. You kind of see that process repeated a couple different times. Okay, so let's draw a rug. The rug is going to start with an orthogonal line. Try to figure out where it sits in the room. It's a little big for the rug. I want a little far. It's not a big deal. And then probably maybe over here. Right. And then as I look at this rug, it seems very thin. It's a very thin rug, almost like a floor mat. So I don't want to make it too big. I want to kind of slide my ruler up a little bit. Try to make it as accurate as I can. So I'm going to put my horizontal line right here. And we do have a few extra lines here, so we're just going to go ahead and erase those. No harm, no foul. We got a little mat. So now, if you want, you can kind of put the little squiggles, kind of the same squiggles that we use in our packet, right, to show where the rug is. And those squiggles are getting shorter and shorter as they go back in space. And then you can even give it a little wave if you want. Kind of freehand, like a little texture on the front and the back. Maybe that helps, I don't know. Looks a little bit more like a rug. I'm not even going to try to put that pattern in, and you shouldn't either unless you really want to. All right, last but not least, we do have a little frame to put up. We got a little painting over here. And again, we're just worried about the construction of the frame. We don't really care about what's on the inside. We're just drawing all the geometrical shapes basically in the room, and we're trying to draw them in a way that makes our illusion work of one-point perspective. So we're going to get started with that over here. So we're going to start the same way. You start with the line that's furthest away from us. Looks like maybe it's an inch, half an inch away from our back wall. Maybe a little bit closer. I'm not sure. Ours isn't totally to scale, but it's sort of close. So this is above the horizon line, so we can see our horizon line is right here. That means our painting is going to be above that, but not too above. So we'll start with it. That's a little bit bigger than it is in real life, but that's okay. Start with our vertical line the same way we did with the TV. Then we're going to extend that vertical line back in space. It's kind of up to you how far you want to make it. Just try to make it look something like what you see in the photo. It's a little bit longer. Okay. So you can see I'm making a lot of adjustments on the fly. I'm going to try to kind of make this shorter than I initially thought. Right, so we got this extra tail down here. We don't need it. We can go ahead and erase it. Right. Then a vertical line to finish things off. Looks like I'll have some erasing to do down here as well. I'll erase too much there. All right, we're going to do the same thing that we did over here with the TV. We're going to make a little border. So just parallel lines that are coming in down here at the bottom. Vertical, orthogonal, and do another orthogonal while we're here. And last but not least, a little vertical line. To finish things up. What we can do to make this look a little bit more like, I've never tried this, so hopefully it works, but we can put little diagonal lines here. I think that's going to make it look like a little bit more of a frame. Alright, so those are your three objects we want to draw today. We got a TV, we got a rug, and we have a picture frame. Those are all kind of drawn the same way, right? Just with subtle differences in each one, but those are all kind of flat surfaces that are sitting on our disappearing or kind of vanishing walls, right? So walls that are going back in space. And when things are disappearing or getting smaller and smaller, we know to use that orthogonal line or that vanishing point over here. So make sure you have that vanishing point. If you don't have it, try to put it down because you are going to need it to draw the rest of the room. All right. Does anyone have any questions?